When discussing contamination issues in a community, several key topics and concerns are typically addressed. For example, number one, sources of contamination. The identification of where the contaminants are coming from, such as industrial facilities, agricultural runoff, old landfills, etc. Number two, types of contaminants. Specific contaminants present, such as heavy metals, chemicals, biological contaminants, and other hazardous substances. Number three, health impacts. Short-term and long-term health effects to exposure of contaminants, including respiratory issues, skin irritation, gastrointestinal diseases, reproductive issues, development problems in children, and cancer risks. Number four, environmental impacts. Effects on local ecosystems, wildlife, and plant life. Impact on soil quality, water quality, and air quality. Number five, detection and monitoring. Methods of detecting contamination, including sampling and testing protocols. Ongoing monitoring efforts to track changes in contamination levels and ensure timely response. Number six, regulatory and legal framework. Relevant local, state, and federal regulations governing contamination and pollution control. Legal responsibilities of parties responsible for contamination and the role of regulatory agencies in enforcement and remediation. Number seven, remediation and cleanup efforts. Strategies for cleaning up and contaminated sites, including soil remediation, water treatment, and removal of containment of hazardous materials. Preventive measures, policies, and practices to prevent future contamination, such as stricter regulation of industrial activities, improved waste management practices, and better land use planning.
Contamination in communities is a multi-sided issue that can arise from various sources, impacting both the environment and public health. Here's an overview of the problem, its causes, effects, and potential solutions. Sources of contamination: industrial activities, agricultural practice, waste disposal, transportation, urban development. The effects of the contamination is the health impacts, environment degradation, economic cost. Addressing to the problem of the community contamination requires a comprehensive approach involving government, regulation, industry cooperation, technological innovation, and active participation from the public. By tackling the issue from the multiple angles, it's possible to mitigate the harmful effects of contamination and promote healthier, more sustainable communities.
Contamination in Nuevo León, Mexico, particularly in its capital, Monterrey, raises several ethical concerns due to its significant impact on public health, the environment, and social justice. Here are some ethical aspects related to this issue. The number one is the public health and safety, the environmental justice, the corporate responsibility, and the community involvement.
Gonzalo Rodriguez, and today I will be talking about ethical aspects related to the problem responsibility of industries in Nuevo León and pollution of the air and water. The company should reduce their pollution. It's their responsibility to keep the environment clean. The government must make and enforce rules to protect the environment. They should ensure that factories do not pollute that much. It's their duty to keep people safe and healthy. Pollution affects local communities, especially in poorer areas. People there suffer from bad air and water. This is unfair and raises questions about justice and fairness. Pollution today harms the environment for future generations. We must think about how our actions affect our children and grandchildren.
Hello there. Oh, you catch me here playing piano, but I'm not here to play piano. I'm here to talk about the SDGs involved in the problematic that we are talking about. And what is that problematic? Well, as you may know, you already heard from my past teammates. It's the contamination here in Nuevo León, Mexico, a very serious problem that we need to address. First of all, what is an SDG? An SDG is a Sustainable Development Goal. What is this, you may ask? These are global goals that were created in 2015 to help stay an interconnected global design to create, we can say create a better future. And what I'm going to talk about is which ones are involved in the problematic we're talking about. First of all, a little introduction. As you may heard, you already know what we are talking about, but I'm still gonna give you a little introduction. First of all, Nuevo León is a state in the northeastern Mexico facing some serious problems of contamination. This proposal aims to reduce contamination and improve life for everyone, not even for me, not even for you that are watching this video. Yes, you, teacher. Also, not even for my dog, for everyone around here in Nuevo León, Mexico. First of all, the first SDG is the SDG number 3, good health and well-being. Reducing pollution will directly improve health and well-being. Cleaner air and water mean fewer diseases and better quality of life. That's one of the SDGs that we're going to address in this proposal. Also, SDG number 6, clean water and sanitation. Cleaner industrial practices will protect water resources. This ensures clean water for drinking and sanitation. That's the second one that we're going to address. And why it's so important to address this? Because as you may see, the contamination not only in the water, also in air, it's way too bad here in Monterrey, Nuevo León. So, well, not even in Monterrey, and the state of Nuevo León, it's pretty bad, the air quality, the contamination here. So that's why we are talking about this. Another SDG is the SDG number 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities. What does this mean? Well, this means by reducing pollution, we can create healthier and more sustainable cities. That would be very useful because cities here are way too contaminated. The air we breathe, the air we're breathing right now, it's bad, like seriously bad. The next SDG is the SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production. What does this mean? It means that we are going to try to encourage industries to adopt greener practices supports. This is very important to be practicing, not only for us, because big industries like Pedreras, they make a lot of contamination. By applying this responsible consumption and production, we can make real huge difference.
A solution of population pollution in a community is a complex problem that requires a multifaceted approach to address effectively. Here are some practical solutions that can be implemented at the community level. Promote recycling and waste management. Place specific containers for paper, plastic, glass, and organic waste in a strategic location. Implementing a waste collection system that facilitates the separation and recycling of materials. Improve public transportation. Increase the frequency and coverage of public transport to make it more accessible and attractive. And recycle paths and pedestrian paths. Create and maintain safe infrastructure for bicycle and pedestrians. Implement renewable energy, solar and wind panels. Promote the installation of solar panels in public and private buildings, as well as the use of wind energy. Community projects. Develop renewable energy projects at the community level, such as solar farms.